Hello friends, welcome to Independent Learning. My name is Raj Shah, and in this video we are going to study about the chapter Coordinate Geometry. Okay, so before starting the chapter, let us understand what is coordinate geometry, why are we using this, and what are its uses. Okay, so let me give you some example. Let's say if I want to find your address. So in order to find your address, I need to know your country code, then the state, the city, and the area, and the flat number or the room number. If I have all these information, I'll be able to find your house or your the flat. Correct? Let me give you one more example. So just understand, just keep this aspect what of finding your area. If I want to find your location, I need to know certain parameters, which is state, city, and all, exam, etc., etc. Okay, I need to know all this, then only I'll be able to locate you. So same way, okay, so let's say if we want to locate India on the globe, how do we locate it? With the help of latitudes and longitudes, correct? So similarly, we are doing this chapter which is coordinate geometry. So this example which I gave you, these two examples of finding your location, okay, that was one example, and the other example of finding or locating India on the globe. So these both the two examples, they are the application of coordinate geometry. So coordinate geometry is used in these, like to find any particular point. If you want to find, you have certain basis to find that point. Now let's understand these two applications which we just discussed on paper. Let's see how it is done. Okay, so let's say if I want to find a particular point. Now this is one surface, correct? Now if I want to locate this point on this surface, how will I be able to do it? Now if you see, this is one big board, correct? This is one plane, or you can say a surface, correct? So if this is one surface, okay, and there is this point which I want to find, where exactly is this point, correct? So if I want to find that, I'll locate one or two endpoints, or you can say I'll take this one line and this another line. So based on this and this line, like for example, I'll draw it here. If you cannot see the other parts, the top and this side wala board. So let's say I'll draw these two lines. Now what did I do? I took one line and I drew one more line which was just perpendicular to this. So these two lines, I have taken a perpendicular line, correct? You know what is the meaning of the word perpendicular? We have discussed this in earlier videos also. Okay, there are theorems also which has been done on perpendicularity. Okay, so I hope you are understanding. Now if you want to locate this point, okay, with the help of, so how are we doing this or locating this point? So it's done with the help of these two perpendicular lines. Okay, so what we do is we try to take small segments. We try to take small segments and we name them, or you can say we divide these axes. Okay, these are called axes. Once we'll be doing that, the chapter, once we start with the chapter, you'll come to know. This is just the explanation of what is coordinate geometry. So what is coordinate geometry? I would say again, it says that if you want to find any point on any surface, it can be done using coordinate geometry. Okay, like there is any point here or here or here, it can be done using coordinate geometry. You just need to have a basis. A basis means with respect to what are you finding this point. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So if you want to find, let's take this example, if you want to find the place where is this point located exactly. So if you see, if I draw these two, see, this is one unit, this is another unit, this is one unit, and this is another unit. So let's name this as 1 2 1 2 for example. Okay, I do not know which axis, or we are not involving all that. So if you see this, see, where is it coming? Where is this point coming? It's over here, correct? It's reaching here. So on the basis of this, you can say that this point is located at 2, 2. Are you getting? See, this was in the space, this point, this particular point, it was on this space, right? On this surface which was unknown. So we drew a basis which is two perpendicular lines with the help of which we can locate this point. Okay, so I hope you are understanding this, what we are doing. Let's start with the chapter. We'll understand each and everything, which is what are these two axes, what are these two perpendicular lines, how do we find the points, how do we locate in fact the points. There can be any points, this side, any of the side it can be. Okay, so let's see how we do it. So here we are understanding the basics of coordinate geometry. Okay, so as said earlier, we will take two axes, which is perpendicular lines. There are two perpendicular lines. Okay, which is called x-axis, and the line which is perpendicular to x-axis is called y-axis. So this is actually like a number line. Okay, which the right side of the x-axis is positive and the left side is negative. Same way, the above this part is positive and the lower part is negative for the y-axis. Okay, the center part is 0 and it is represented as origin O. So this O, it indicates its origin, meaning from this point. Okay, this is one particular point which from where these two axes are being originating. Now let us say that we want to locate one of the point here. Let's say we want to locate this point. This just one space, like this is one particular space, you can say. Okay, this is one particular space, this box. Okay, now I want to, inside this box, I want to find this particular point. So what I did, I divided this box into this parallel lines, and I divided with positive numbers, negative numbers on x-axis, then here also on a number line, same way with y-axis. So what I did, I found the basis to find the point here. So you should understand, if you want to find something, you should be able to find with respect to what? So this point will be found with respect to these two axes, correct? So what are we doing here? Before getting into this, let me tell you, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is the origin. Okay, now this is called the first quadrant. What is it called? First quadrant. Okay, so this is called the first section, you can say, or quadrant. Then this is called second quadrant. Quadrant means it's the form for four parts. So quadra means 1/4, the first part of the 4 parts. So this surface is divided into 4 parts. So this is the first part out of the 4th. This is the second part, which is second quadrant, out of the 4 parts. This is the third part out of the 4 parts, and this is the 4th part, the last part. So we'll say this is third and this is 4th quadrant. Okay, so I hope you have understood what are these 4 parts. Why are they called quadrant? Because it is a quadrant. Triple means 3, so quadruple means 4. So this is derived from that word itself, quadrant. Okay, which is 4. So there are 4 parts in which a particular plane is divided. Okay, now what we are finding, we are trying to locate this particular point. Okay, so this topic we will say so what we are finding here, so the topic name, it says coordinates of a point. So we want to find the coordinate of this, like at what particular position is this point located with respect to this. Okay, I hope you are understanding this, what we are doing. Okay, because this is just the basis of what coordinate geometry is. Okay, and this is the simplest way you will be able to learn. Okay, so I request you to watch this video till the end so that you will be able to understand each and every concept which is in the chapter coordinate geometry. Okay, now let's say we are finding at last, let's say we'll find this point. Okay, let's extend this point till here from 3. If you see, if you extend this, actually what we are doing, we are extending from this point and we came till here, we reached 3. Let's extend from this point again this way. So we have again reached at this point 3, correct? So what are we doing? So this point we can say, first of all, what can, let's say, let's name this as A. Okay, so if we want to talk about point A, what can we say about point A? We can say that point A is in first so point A is in first quadrant, yes or no? So we, as from the figure itself, or you can say from the graph itself, we can say, so A is in the first quadrant. And what is the coordinate of this? Correct, what is the coordinate? It is 3. So see, if you see on x-axis, so it is written like this always for any point. Let's say Z it is, if you want to find point Z, okay, anywhere, so that will be written, or you can say, let's say you want to find point P, so it will be written like x and then y. That means first will be the x coordinate you will be writing, and then the y coordinate. That means first you will say, we will say about point A with respect to x coordinate. So A is how much times of this x, like this is the x axis, how far is it, how far is point A from the origin on x axis. So this is the distance. So if you see, this is the distance actually, it is 0 to 1 and 1 to 2, 2 to 3, so that means 0 to 3, so that is 3. So on x axis A is 3 units away. So you can say, if you write in word format, okay, if you are not understanding, let me write it for you. A, or you can say point A is 3 units away from the origin on x-axis. So this point A, this particular point A is 3 units away, okay, from the origin. So from 3 units away from the origin on x-axis. Same way, if you see how much is it away from, so this is the origin and this is the y-axis, how much is it away from this A, point A is away, okay, from origin is 3 units again. So we can say, again we can say point A here, point A is 3 units so again point A is 3 units away from the origin on y-axis. Now this away, this word which I have written here, it can be on this side. This full is x-axis. If I say from the origin, it can be this side also and it can be this side also 3 units. It can be any side. So we need to mention it. So is 3 units on the right. So we'll say on the right. On the right side from the origin. So on the right side. Same way we'll say point A is 3 units above. So 3 units above from the origin. So 3 units above from the origin on the y-axis. Because you can say 3 units below also and above also. So there are 3 units on both the sides. Correct? So I hope you have understood this. Now how to find the how you write the coordinates for point A. It's written like this: A, then x coordinate. Okay, with respect to x it is called x coordinate, and with respect to y it is called y coordinate. Correct? So here from 0 on x-axis it is 3 units, so 3 here. Then same way 3 units from y, so 3 here. Okay, let's take some more examples and find the points, and we'll take some more examples to locate the points here. Okay, let's see. So here we located point A. Okay, let's try to locate point B, C, D and E also. Okay, so here this is point B. So now see, it is starting, see this is the origin. On the x-axis, if you see where is point B, it is coming here, it is touching this point, which is -4. So for x coordinate of B is -4. So you can say, if you want to read this, you can say x and y coordinate of point A is 3 and 3, or you can say x coordinate is 3 and y coordinate is 3 for point A. So you can read it that way. Okay, now we are trying to find point B. Correct? So on x-axis it reaches at -4, so we'll say x coordinate is -4. Then here if you see point B on y-axis, where does it touch? It touches at point 3. Correct? Just 3, not -3 also. So we need to be careful about that. Here it touches -4, so I wrote -4. So on the y-axis it touches at 3. And this is the case always. You always have to write the x coordinate first. Okay, the sleeping line and then the standing line. So always remember, first the x-axis, then the y-axis. Okay, so coordinates are always written like this. Remember this. For any particular point P, it is first the x coordinate of P and then the y coordinate of P. Okay, so this is -4 comma 3. Now let's find for C, point C. If you see from x, it is touching this point C. If I extend on x, it will touch on -4. So this is again -4. Correct? But if you see on y-axis, it touches at -2. If you extend, see. So -2, -4 comma -2. Okay. Now if you want to find for D, okay, how do you find for D? It is touching at -2 on x-axis. So always remember, you are supposed to see the x coordinate first. So let's find for x coordinate of D, which is -2. So it is -2 away from the origin on the left side. So -2. Okay, and then D is how much far away on the y-axis? It is 3 units, matlab -3 units below, that's why. So -3 is written here. So also -3. Correct? So I hope you are understanding. So this is the last one. Let's find. So this is x coordinate is 3 and y coordinate is -4. Correct? So I hope you have understood how we are locating these 5 points which we did just now. Okay, so now if you see this, the coordinates of each of the points, if you see this is positive, this is also positive. Now you know, if I write a number 3, this means that it is positive, or if I write 10, it means that it is positive. If I write like this, -10, that means this number is -10, means it's negative. If nothing is written, you know that it's positive. The same way, this is positive, these two. Correct? So here, if you see, these two are positive, but they are coming in which quadrant? See, it's mentioned here, it is coming in the first quadrant. So we can see the other points. Now I'll tell you what are the sequence which is you can see in this. Now if you see the second point, point B, first one is minus, the second one is plus. Correct? So here, let me write in first quadrant plus plus. Okay. Now if you see in the second quadrant, for any point, okay, it's -4 and 3. So it's minus and then plus. for the second quadrant, correct? Now if you see point C, okay, it is -4 and -2. Where is it coming? Point C here, -4 and -2. Both are what? Minus minus. Therefore we'll say minus comma minus. See for point D, it is -2 comma -2. It is again in the third quadrant. So it's -2 comma -3 here. So it is minus minus only for both the x and the y coordinates, correct? For E, it is plus and minus. So it's plus and minus. So now, on the basis of this, we are trying to find in each of the quadrants, in each of the four quadrants, we are trying to find the positives and the negatives. Like, if we say, if any point is in the first quadrant, like for example, let's take any other point. Let's say this is Z. This is point Z. So if I want to find point Z, it is what? For on x-axis it's 2 and y-axis it's 1. So 2 comma 1. Okay. I hope you have understood this, how you quickly find the coordinates of any point on this number line, or you can say this plane. Okay. So Z is 2 comma 1. So this point Z is in the first quadrant. That's why see, both the coordinates are positive. Okay. I hope you are understanding this. What we are doing in the first quadrant, we are checking whether all the points in the first quadrant is positive or not. So here again I took one example, it is positive. So for the first quadrant, if any point is given, let's say any point which is, for example, Q. If Q is given, let's say 2 comma, or you can say, let's take a bigger number, 10 comma 40. Now what is this? If the question says in which quadrant does this point lie? So by looking at this directly, you can say that both the points, see, both x coordinate and y coordinate, they both are positive. So if both the coordinates are positive, that means it lies in the first quadrant. So that's how you come to know. So this is the basis. So you can try to locate, like Q is somewhere here, for example, somewhere here on this part in the first quadrant. So you'll be able to easily find the point Q. Okay. So this is the beauty of coordinate geometry. You'll be able to understand, or you will be able to locate each and every point. Okay. So coming back to the coordinates. So in the first quadrant, the coordinates are both positive. Both x and y coordinates, they both are positive. Okay. Now in the second quadrant, the x coordinate is negative and the y coordinate is positive. Let's see one more example on this side itself. Let's say this is it is coming here. Let's say this is y. So if you want to find y, okay, y is what? The coordinate for this will be on x-axis -3 and on y-axis 1. So -3 comma 1. So if you see this point y, first one, the x coordinate is negative and the y coordinate is positive. That's why the sign for, okay, the sign convention for y, the second quadrant, is negative and then positive. This means x coordinate is negative and it will always be negative if it is in the second quadrant, and the y coordinate will be positive in the second quadrant. Okay. Now let's see the third one. I hope you are understanding this. The third one, again, so you can simply say both the x and the y coordinates both are negative. That means if both are negative, means any points, okay, any point if you want to find in the third quadrant, it will both be negative. Means both x and y coordinate will be negative. Okay. Now if I give an example, let's say r, okay, -100 comma -110. Let's say this is the coordinate. This is a big vast this plane which is being divided. So if I want to find in which quadrant does this lie, we can find it easily in the third quadrant, because both our x and y coordinates are negative. So this makes our process very easy to locate each and every point. If you know the signs minus minus, then it is in the third quadrant. If plus minus, then fourth quadrant. If minus plus, then second quadrant. So let's see for the last quadrant. Let's discuss this, and we'll see some questions more. Then the fourth quadrant, it says, if you see, this is plus and this is minus. So plus and minus for the fourth quadrant. Okay. So I hope you have understood how to find the location, or the points on the number line or the plane. Okay, so let's take some examples. Okay, and before starting with this example, I want you to try to find each and every answer, okay, the answers of all this on your own, and then check the answer with me what I'm showing. Okay, so it's easy. I explained it to you in this earlier itself now, that minus 4 and plus 1, you have to find in which quadrant does it lie. So this lies in, that we can say plus first quadrant. Okay, then so lies in the first quadrant, minus plus then it lies in the second quadrant, minus minus then third, and plus minus then it's in the fourth quadrant. So for this point, it lies in minus plus, so it's in the second quadrant. So we can say that it is in the, so it's in the second quadrant. Now if you see plus minus, so plus minus, it's in the fourth quadrant. So we'll say fourth quadrant. Okay, now what about this minus minus? So it's easy, without even me telling you, you have understood how to name the quadrants in which these points are lying. So this is in the third quadrant. Okay, now this is one question which says x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is negative. So if x is positive and y is negative, it is in which quadrant? X is positive and y is negative, so it's again in the fourth quadrant. So we can say that this lies also in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so this is another question where we have to find, or you have to draw the coordinates on the plane. That means, and plot it. That means to find these 2 points on the number line, or you can say the graph here. Okay, so we can the positive part of x is x and the negative part is x dash, positive part of y is y and negative part is y dash. Okay, this is origin 0, or you can name O origin, and this starts with 0. This is 1 2 3 this is 1 2 3. This is again minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, because that the left side of x-axis is negative and the below part of y-axis is also negative. So accordingly we wrote the numbers, the points. Now let's say we want to find minus 2 comma 4. So where is minus 2 on this? So minus 2 is x coordinate, so x is this side, so minus 2. First of all, if you see minus 2 comma 4, it lies in which quadrant? Minus plus, so second quadrant. So this point will lie in the second quadrant, which is this. Okay, so without even having any doubt, minus 2 is this point and 4 is over here. Okay, so it will be somewhere at this point. So this point, you can say name this as A, for example, and this as B. So this is point A, whose coordinate is -2, 4. So you can write it this way. This point is -2, 4. Okay. So you can extend this also if you want. Otherwise, no need to show this. It's better if you do this on your graph paper rather than doing on your notebook. Okay. Now the other point, which is 2, -3. So 2 is over here because x-axis is 2. First of all, plus and minus. So plus and minus is in fourth quadrant. So 2, -3 is 2 here, -3 here. So somewhere at this point. See? So if you extend it, it comes over here. So we have named this as B. So let's say this is point B, whose coordinate is 2, -3. Okay. So I hope you have understood this. Now in this video we saw what are the uses of coordinate geometry, how do we use it, what are the basis of which we want to find the coordinates of a point. So we saw to find coordinates of a point on a plane, and also we saw the the quadrants, okay, in which the points lie. There are 4 types of quadrants which we saw, and also what we saw is to find the points on the graph, or you can say the on a plane. So by dividing a plane, so let's say if this is the plane, we have divided it into x-axis and y-axis, and then we have tried to locate each and every point as per the given points or the coordinates. Okay, so I hope you have understood this video. So in the next video we'll learn more on this topic, coordinate geometry. Share it with your friends. Okay, thank you for watching.